the National Football League. And we're going to look here at All-Pro Devontae Adams. And with him, any catch could be a big one. He's the NFL leader in touchdown receptions. The Elks and the Thunderbirds. And it's coming right up.
What better way to start off the afternoon than with some football, huh? It's time to get things started here on the NFL on EA Sports. Thanks so much for joining us, everybody. Up here in the booth, I'm Kate Scott, alongside Brock Heward. And Brock, now that we're into the November portion of our season, we've got a pretty good picture of who both of these teams, at least who we expect these teams to be from here on out.
Yeah, no question about it, Kate. They're through the opening rounds if this is a boxing match, right? In this season-long fight. Early issues been worked through, or at least you hope so. And this is where they have to be in that groove as we push through the heart of the season. Any team with hopes beyond Week 8.
Matt Gay now ready to get this one started. And we're underway in Salt Lake City. Return starts at the 9. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. So here's their offense, taking over for the first time here. They're led out by the 4-time MVP who's been in this league since 2005, Aaron Rodgers.
A win is a win for him, whether he goes for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns, Kate, or maybe he just finds the end zone once like last week. And being the team first guy he is, he'd be more than happy to end the game with just 1 touchdown pass, or maybe even no touchdown passes, so long as they get the win in the end.
And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Good defensive tackles in this league, Kate. They can take up a couple blockers. Great defensive tackles, well, they stuff the stat sheet just like that, knocking that run backwards before it could get started.
Has a man, Dalton Schultz. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They managed 22 on the rip and a first down.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. From the shotgun, Rodgers. He's on the move. He can run it. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the field.
That's just a case where you're trying to make something when there really is nothing there. There just wasn't an opening for him to work with, and he was lucky to get what he could.
He locates Adonai Mitchell. And he's marked down, looks like at the 32-yard line. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They're going to run and draw here with Benson. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. It was Marcus Williams in on that stop. We get a look at his rushing numbers from last week here, what he was able to do in support of that win. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Here's Rodgers. Into the hands of Schultz. And they take him down, but there's a flag on the play. Nearly a big play by the safety, and I guess you could still say it was, but it benefits the offense as he gets called for roughing the passer. Running it after the penalty. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Give him a couple on the run, and they'll need the same here. 3rd and goal at the 2. Benson. And he fought the good fight there just to make it back to the line. No gain on the play, and they remain just short of the end zone. It's 4th and goal.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
3 plays haven't gotten it done. Now a 4th to try to reach that end zone. They'll run. It's Benson. And he gets in. Touchdown! The Thunderbirds finish up an excellent opening series. Trey Benson, the touchdown! Once it became goal-to-goal, Brock, that field goal team just didn't feel like they were ever going to see the field. This team was committed to making a statement on the opening series, even if it meant leaving the offense out there on 4th and goal.
Yeah, I think that's really well said, Kate, for a couple reasons. Number one, you do get a chance to finish, right? So you do all this work to get there, you want to finish it. But you also know if you don't get it, well, you set your opponent up with some really bad field position. I love that decision.
Sanders all set to send it away. Return coming from the 6. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So out comes their offense for its first possession of the game. And leading them out is someone who became an absolute superstar last year as a rookie. Drafted 2nd in 2023, it's C.J. Stroud.
As a QB in this league, if you're going to finish a game with no touchdowns on that side of the stat sheet, well, you better finish it with no interceptions as well. Even if last week was an uneventful contest for him throwing the football, he did what he needed to do to help them come away with the most important stat, the win.
And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A pickup there of 33 yards. And it sets up first down.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
Stroud throwing here on first. This is reeled in by Taysom Hill. And they get this down to the 28. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down. From the gun, Stroud. It's caught left side by Hill. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the two defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
Throw complete to Juszczyk. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. That's a gain of 13, and it sets them up with 1st and goal. To the air yet again, it's Stroud. And that one's incomplete, but boy, are they lucky it wasn't intercepted. That was a risky shot, but fortunately, they still have 2nd down coming up. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. Has it in close. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. So now, here's 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Stroud. Oh, they get to him behind the line, and he loses the football. And it's picked up by the defense.
Gosh, we have seen these quarterbacks make some incredible plays from here to reach the end zone. That was certainly not one of them. Careless with the football, left an opening for those defenders to knock it free and escape without surrendering any points.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. And off to Benson to start the drive. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
As an offense in these situations, Kate, you could feel your own goal line, and you're not going to risk putting the ball in the air. So that means you're going to run it, and you're going to buy whatever breathing room you can.
It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes. Looking at a tough spot to punt it away if this 3rd down is unsuccessful. The give now to Benson. And he hauls this one up to the 11 before being stopped. A nice 7-yard pickup there. It's going to be 4th and 2.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
Starts from the 44. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. The Elks and Davante Adams getting set for another look here. And we see that to this point, he's leading the NFL in touchdown receptions as we work through November and into our final month plus of play. First down, Stroud. He's got the hook up to Adams. Pickup of 12 on that play. And they're going to have a first down. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. The give for the first time to Rachaad White. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. Making the stop that time, Nick Cross. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Here's White again. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Tackled on that play by Isaiah Simmons. So now here's 3rd and 5. And the play clock hits 0. This is going to be delay a game. Everyone was set and at the line. The quarterback just didn't snap it before the play clock hit 0. The flag makes this 3rd down and 10. To the air, Stroud. Escapes the pocket. He's running for it. It's a gain of 27 yards to move the chains.
Man, I don't ever want to be a defensive coordinator. They do so many things right to take away the pass, and then what happens? Well, you get a quarterback that lowers his head, gashes the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game. You take away the pass, but you can't stop the QB run.
Running back sent in motion. Here's Stroud on 1st and 10. That's to his back. Here's Rachaad White. And he drives this forward to the 6.
These intermediate gains, that wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well, and it sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
The shot to the end zone is incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down. Here's Stroud. Buys time, rolling right. And they take this in for the score. The Elks cut it to a lone point on the scoreboard. C.J. Stroud, the touchdown. Just a great effort there from him, Brock, to take it upon himself, embrace the initiative, and turn that drive into 6.
You know, Kate, there was a day when you were watching Steve Young or Randall Cunningham, and that felt like a bonus touchdown. But that's not today. It feels like every quarterback's got to be able to score, be a dual threat on the ground. It's part of an offense every single team relies upon.
That one splits the uprights. And the Elks tie this game 7-7. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Here's Tylan Wallace on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. This offense making its way back out now. Their last drive didn't make it very far before they had to punt it away, partner, so hopefully this one has some better legs to it. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Benson now from the gun. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. More of the NFL on EA Sports right after this. Welcome back for the start of the second. Our visiting offense out in possession of the ball. They're looking at 1st down here. Benson once more. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Staying on the ground with Benson. He's only going to manage to get back to the line. Arden Key there for the stop. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10. They send Diggs in motion right. Firing quickly as Rodgers, complete. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You'll hear defensive coaches all the time really ask their players to pull the trigger. Read, react, diagnose, and when you see it, go fire away. And that's exactly what the defense does to take away that screen.
Forced out to his right. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. Gets out of harm's way after stringing together some nice yards on that run.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock. You know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
Again, Daniel Whelan heading out for another punt. And this will be his 2nd effort of the contest. Here comes their offense out again. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Throwing from the gun. This one's taken in by Hill. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs. They've got 1st down from the 31. Now it's Stroud. He's going to dump this one off to the fullback. Complete. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Well, there was never a play in any playbook I ever saw designed for a lost yardage play when you throw the ball. But if there's any solace, at least it was 1st down. A couple more chances to make up for it.
Nothing there left side as it ends up incomplete.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short intermediate throws, you've got to count on those being efficient and effective.
And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
Read and react. Read and react. Read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then you got to react as it begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And he's brought down before the return gets far. Now we're going to have a stoppage after that return. Looks like somebody was shaken up on the play. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. First down throw by Rodgers. Bails out of the pocket quick. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. It's Benson on the give. He'll drive it forward, but won't get beyond the line. Not able to get away from the big Vita Vea. Got to figure out this 3rd down here. Rodgers will look to throw. This reeled in by Benson. Oh, what a stiff arm. So someone's shaken up on that play. We've got to pause, and it looks like Stephon Diggs, who's the subject of attention down there. Daniel Whelan on the punt. And he's going to try to give his defense a long field to defend. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. That's taken at the 15. And he'll scrape together what he can on the return. He gets it back to the 20. That punt finishes as a 60-yard effort. And it'll be their football. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Stroud. Got his target, it's Hill. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 22 on that one, and that'll give them a 1st down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
They'll send their tight end right. Back to throw, Stroud. He's on the move. He takes it himself. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Well, I can tell you what, that was a goal from the moment he took off. Kept his eyes locked on the chains and made sure he set them up with a new set of downs. Well done.
1st and 10, it's a give to White. And they'll manage to contain him after about a 6-yard pickup. Stopped by Deion Henley. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Again, this is White. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. They get 6 and a 1st down as well.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
On the quick slant, it finds Adams. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. It's White on the give. And he's stopped. Now we'll wait to hear what this flag is all about. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Here's Stroud now. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. Trying again, following the sack. That's Hill on the slant. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. Give him 24 on that play. And that will set up 1st and goal. White runs it in for the touchdown. The Elks take a 2nd quarter lead. It's a Rachaad White touchdown. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
That one right down the middle. And the Elks break that tie and now lead by 7. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Wallace with a return here. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Thunderbirds and Trey Benson back out on offense. They've stalled out since that first touchdown, Brock, while their opponents have done the opposite. They've heated up, and their original 7-point lead, now a deficit of 7. Benson on 1st and 10. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2. Now an inside give to Benson. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. 6 yards on the play and enough for a first.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you'd really break the backs of a defense.
As a man, that's Cortland Sutton. It's a 33-yard gain and a fresh set of downs.
Man, I love that effort, adding as much as possible to that catch while earning the first down. That's called yards after catch, and it's what coaches want from all their pass catchers on the roster.
We're to the 2-minute warning from Salt Lake City. It's the Thunderbirds, looking at 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. That's complete to Diggs on the slant. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the shotgun, Rodgers. Able to get it to Benson. A pickup of 2, maybe 3, but most importantly, Brock, that's enough to move the sticks. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. Throwing again, it's Rodgers. Has it down close. And they'll get this down nearly to the end zone, instead stopped at the 2. They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Benson has them the touchdown. The Thunderbirds earn the chance to tie before halftime. Trey Benson, the touchdown. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Extra point is good by Sanders. And the Thunderbirds tie things up at 14. Sanders all set to send it away. Here's a return from the 7. This return makes it up to the 25. Well, we've already seen some nice plays here, and we're going to see plenty more before this game ends. But you might be thinking, with plays like that, my guys' ratings should be better. Well, you're not alone. You got a chance to let the Madden Ratings Hotline know just what you're thinking. Give them a call, 1-844-MADDEN-1, and make your case for who should get a boost. Caught him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And it looks like the offense recovered. Whew, they did. Close stuff there. We've reached halftime of what's been an entertaining one so far. 14-all is our score. Now we'll send things over to Orlando, Florida. Jonathan Coachman on standby, ready to deliver the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, we'll get back to you and Brock in a bit. For now, plenty of early action in the 1 o'clock Eastern window to get you caught up on. So let's get to it. We thought this one would be a close battle coming in, and we have not been disappointed. They're all even to this point. This has the feeling of a game that could go right down to the wire. One mistake or one big play could turn out to be the difference.
Thanks so much for the look around the league, Coach. But now it's time to turn our attention back to this one as we begin the third quarter. Xavier Gibson now to return. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Their offense taking the field now for the opening drive of the second half. And this is an important drive to get momentum back after that touchdown tied things up. They'll get this drive started, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, it's Stroud. This will be caught by Adams. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Stroud throwing here on first. Wilson on a slant. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
I love this, Kate. No issues at all going to this receiver in the short field because they know at any time when this man touches the ball, he can transform a short completion into a big play.
Back-to-back big plays have them all set up. 1st and goal here. Working inside the red zone. Too far out of the back of the end zone it goes. Incomplete. Thought he had a touchdown there. And that makes it 2nd and goal. To the air yet again, it's Stroud. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. So they'll be left with 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Stroud. On the move, headed right. And the defense was ready. They got him at the line.
You know, sometimes, Kate, that pocket could be a lonely place. You're searching and searching for an escape valve, and there's none to be had. That time, nowhere to go, and he was lucky to get back to the line before the defense swarmed him.
Matt Gay on to line up this field goal. Angling this one in from the right hash, the challenge here. Up and good from Fairbairn. And they've taken back the lead.
Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
This return starts at the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. Their offense ready to take the field now. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Hand off to Benson from the gun. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2. They'll toss it here to Benson. And he's brought down for a loss.
It's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
Turning to Benson on 3rd. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. That one ends up a gain of 6. And that gives them the 1st.
I don't know what it is, Kate, but I love 3rd down runs. I really do. I know the receivers don't always like it because it's money down and they want the ball, but a 3rd down run for a 1st down can be so demoralizing to that defense.
This finds Mitchell, complete. We'll have him gain about a handful there. Tackle made there by Derek Nottie. Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. From the 46. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. It's a 21-yard gain. And that'll be a first down.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
He finds space into the red zone. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal.
Even with everything he racked up on that run, you could argue he deserved maybe a little bit more. That call was the perfect one to break for big yards. The only thing that saved the defense from a score was getting that contact to slow him down and eventually, finally.
And he's able to take this one in for the touchdown. The Thunderbirds grab the lead on their first series of the half. Trey Benson, the touchdown. His 3rd of the game on the ground. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Sanders all set to send it away. Gibson now to return. Good looking return here, and he's got room. And he manages the 35 before they can stop him. The Elks and C.J. Stroud all set to go for their next drive. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. And he's swallowed up in the middle, no gain on the run. Jalen Phillips finishing that play off. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. From the gun, Stroud. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. Here's Stroud. Getting out to his left. Oh, he's going to run for it. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. Looks like we have a player hurt on that one. We'll get a pause here, and the training staff out to look at C.J. Stroud. 1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. First throw for the backup now. He throws a bullet deep, brought in inside the 20. He does it, touchdown. The Elks take a 3rd quarter lead. Devontae Adams, the touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just gotta ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Extra point converted by Gay. And the Elks push their lead to 3. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Has this at the 6. They'll bottle him up as he gets the return to the 30. The Thunderbirds returning their offense and this running back to the field. And they have leaned on him to get this offense to the end zone in the game, and he's delivered. He's hit pay dirt 3 times. Part of a really nice game for him so far, Brock. Been returning good value on the looks that he's been getting. First and 10 now from the 30. Rodgers here from the gun. That one's cut along the left sideline. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. It's a pickup of 34 yards. And it'll give him a first down.
I know they may have wanted to throw that pass a little bit sooner, but I'll tell you what, that receiver's ability to navigate his way across the entire field really set up the space he needed to complete the huge gain.
Down inside the 40 now with a first down following that last play. They give up the gut to Benson. Has a lane inside the 25. And he has this all the way down to the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And they'll have first down. From the red zone now. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete. He can't hang on to the pass. And it sets up second down. A run here with Benson. And he's stopped out at the 16 after a small gain. Only a yard for him that time, so now 3rd and 9. Putting a receiver in motion. Rodgers throwing on 3rd down. Chased out to his right. He's keeping it. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out.
When a play breaks down, every once in a while, you got to be able to make a play with your legs. His offense counts on that ability to evade pressure and occasionally make plays just like that one.
Rodgers to throw. Benson's got it. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
That just might be a throw he regretted as soon as you let it go. I know that feeling. He was doing all he could to find a completion down the field, but they were all over that check down and ready to turn it into a negative play.
The give now to Benson. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's a 7-yard gain on 2nd down. Only inches to go now on 3rd. Benson. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Thunderbirds take a 3rd quarter lead. Trey Benson, the touchdown. His 4th total score of the game. Far from the first time we've broken down one of his touchdowns in this game, partner, but man, they seem to get more impressive every time.
And I don't care, Kate, if they're all 1-yard plungers, if you're up over 300 yards. A 4-touchdown game will forever live among your greatest career highlights. You can go several games without even scoring one. So to get 4 in one contest, you'll never, ever forget it.
Sanders all set to send it away. Return coming from the 6. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The offense returning to the field now as we get a look at their wideouts. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. Now Bennett. Completed over the middle. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. They run the counter with White. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. 3 yards there and enough to move the chains. First down, ball at the 36. Here's White again. And they bring him down after he ran through him up to the 43. We'll get a stoppage now. Looks like we have someone banged up after that run in need of some attention. 2nd and 3 now. From the 43. This is on target to Xavier Gibson. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. A nice gain of 13 yards as it brings up a first down. Here's Bennett. Buys time. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
Let's see what they dial up on a second and very long. Slot man motioned over. After the sack, another pass on second down. He'll get this one to Adams. He pushes this down to the 42 before going down. A very active quarter for us. Plenty of points in that frame as we reach the end of 3. They have the ball and could use an early score. They trail to start the 4th. It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. To throw, here's Bennett. Forced out to his right. He's running for it. And he evades any kind of trouble, but only a short gain to show for it after sliding down.
That is quarterback play 101. Maybe not the first chapter of it, but man, is that important. Getting downfield, get what you can with your legs, then most importantly, protect yourself. Get down and don't take any extra contact.
The Thunderbirds and this running back headed back out for a new series. And those legs must be tired, but he ain't stopping, Brock. Not with the type of game that he's been having for himself on the ground. And off to Benson to start the drive. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Perception and reality, Kate. The perception out there from the public is edge rushers are defined by their sacks. The reality in a locker room and in the huddle is you could be defined by your relentlessness. And his motor never stopped. Helped him track it down for a loss on the outside.
And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And that pushes him back. 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, let's give some credit to the defense here, Kate, right? We talk about explosive plays. Every offense is looking for them. But when a defense can go back-to-back, Jack, with a tackle for loss and a sack, well, they're more than doing their job.
3rd and long for him here. He's on the move. He's on the move. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
Well, this is in every quarterback's tool belt, even the ones not regarded as the best movers and shakers. But, Kate, to play QB in the league today, you've got to be able to do this. If you've got nobody open, still get some positive yards with your legs.
The Thunderbirds out and ready to punt. And he's going to have to hit this one from the edge of his own end zone. And he sends this away. Definitely his best kick of the game thus far. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. 58 yards on the punt there. And it's going to be their football coming up. The offense headed back to the field. They struggled to produce on that last series, but better results ahead as they take possession here. And they'll only find 1 yard up the gut. 2nd down. Out of the gun, White. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. A gain of 2 follows up a gain of 1, and now they're left with 3rd and 7. Back now, pressure on its way. Escapes the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
As much as you'd like to find a completion and get the ball out of your hands, when a play breaks down, you got to be able to make a play with your legs. His offense counts on his ability to evade pressure and occasionally make plays just like that.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. Looking to throw, Bennett. He's on the move. Oh, he's calling his own number again. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. Give him 13 on that play. And it'll give him a first down. Motioning him from the slot right. On first down, they'll run. Good running here. He's across the 15. And he's finally taken down at the 7-yard line. And even 20 yards on the play, and it awards them with a 1st and goal. Bennett now to throw. Escapes out to the left. And he carries it in for the touchdown. The Elks take a 4th quarter lead. So that, Brock, an important score here as they move out in front.
You know, Kate, this is the time of the game where fatigue starts to set in every once in a while, but that right there was a determined-looking drive. They were not going to be denied and able to score and take the lead.
Gay with the point after. And the Elks push their lead to 3. Here's Gay now to handle the kickoff. Starting from the 5. He's stopped on the return at the 27. Back out runs their offense. They find themselves down here in the 4th after that touchdown. This game could end up depending on how they respond right here. Throwing on 1st down, Rodgers. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. Working out of the gun, it's Rodgers. He lobs it up, looking deep to the right side. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Portland Sutton, the man he was after. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Rodgers escapes the pocket. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. They'll bring out the punter here. And he's going to do the honors for the 4th time today. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. He's got this at the 27. And some nice running on that return. He gets it up past the 35. This offense headed back to the field, led by their receiver. The kicking team got downfield quickly there. He didn't manage much on the return. And they're going to take over possession. Bennett. This will be caught by Adams. And he'll get it up to the 44. 2nd and 3 now. Here's the option give to White. And this one doesn't go far. Call it no gain, maybe 1 at best on that play. That leaves him with 3rd and 2. Again, this is White. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. New set of downs for him from the 46. Bennett throwing here. Finds him over the middle. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Running on 2nd with White. And they get there to take him down right around the 41. That's good for 7 yards. And it sets up 1st down. Throwing off the play fake here. Flushed out of the pocket. He takes it himself. Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. From the gun, a run for White. And they take him down right along the 30. He gets 6 on that play, and they're going to have a 1st down. The give now to White. And he has enough room to gain about 4. Second and 6 coming up here. It's White on the give. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
It was University of Wisconsin, Kate, the first time I heard this term, slow to explode through. And think how good that Badgers run game has been at the college level. Well, they made runs like that look easy. Slow to explode through.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Up the middle, here goes White. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss. All right, here we go, 2nd down. Wow, they're gonna pass it here. Dumped off to his running back. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. Now we get another stoppage here, just 1:52 remaining. The defense burns a timeout. Back to throw. He's on the move. He gets a little something out of it before sliding to a stop.
I love that play. I mean, that's quarterback 101. Nothing downfield, get what you can with your legs, but so much more importantly, protect yourself. Availability, one of the most important abilities for any quarterback.
Legaue now in a high-pressure spot. This only a chip shot from the right hash. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And they're going to grow their lead late, but still a one-score ball game.
So after that make, a field goal won't cost them a lead, but a touchdown still ties it, or likely probably puts them down a point. Okay, this is one of those moments where the defense now has clarity. They know what the stakes are and what they have to defend.
Past midfield, and he's got space. It's a foot race. And he's tied this game. I'm looking, but don't see a flag, Brock. That's a touchdown. The advent of a new style of kickoff in 2024 created all sorts of new strategies to generate big returns. And Brock, here, we see their own design executed to perfection to spring them for 6.
Yeah, I don't know if we've seen a rule change that has invigorated special teams coaches, head coaches, all the coaches, as much as this one did this offseason, each looking for their own wrinkle to try to throw in there and do what we just saw, break it the length of the field for 6 big points.
What do you think, Brock? Can we get dueling kick return touchdowns, huh? Let's find out. The kick is away. Gibson now to return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now this offense getting set to work here. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. Motion man is the tight end here, going left. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down. Setting up to pass. Escapes the pocket. He's going to tuck it and run. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. 3rd down, 1 yard to go. Throwing now. He's on the move. Oh, he's going to run for it. They get 6 and a 1st down as well. Signals, and looks like we've got a timeout before that 1st down play. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Here he is to throw. He's got the hook up to Adams. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. He'll look to throw it. Caught, nice gain left side. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
Second and 10 now. On the move, headed right. He's keeping it. He slides to a side after a great run, but still not quite enough for that first down. Third down run from White. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. One final shot here. Rolling left, buying some time. So something to be proud of, Brock, as they come away with a win. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with the victory. So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. It's a well-earned win for the Thunderbirds as we say so long from Salt Lake City.